Hey, this is Candia Raquel, and you are at the Sensual Sessions Podcast, the place to explore sensing pleasure through your senses and moving in a way that is free from inhibition and full of self expression. To get these episodes delivered on your inbox weekly, please subscribe on my website, which is my name, candiaraquel.com, www.candiaraquel.com. And today we have a very special guest. This is Melanie Maar. She's a dance artist, and today she's sharing with us the practical, experiential aspect of being sensually seen. If you missed the previous episode, please go watch it. It was posted last week, and it's the theory on this. And you're also welcome to jump right in. And welcome, Melanie. Very happy to have you here again. Tell us a little bit about this experience.
Thank you. It's great to be back here and to go dive into actually using our body and our senses and our attention for a short experiential practice. It's a practice that I call relational rest. So it's a practice that is based on relaxing the body and awakening the senses and going about moving from there. And for everyone listening, I would suggest to be in a space where you can comfortably lie on the ground, and we'll start wherever you are. If you're sitting, you can start sitting, but I suggest on the floor, and we go from there. And I will turn off my camera. Rachel will turn off hers. Candia, Candia will take my dyslexic. We'll turn off hers, and then we'll go really by audio, and I will guide you with my voice for the next about 15 minutes.
Great. Fantastic. We are ready.
Good. So let me turn off my video. It goes. And we'll start with wherever you are now with your body. If you've sat or lied on the ground, or if you're relaxing back somewhere into a soft surface, we'll start with our eyes open. And I invite you to just look around for a moment where you are, to see what you're seeing, to let your gaze move in your room. And you'll notice that your body wants to or can shift, can move in order to look at something. That's sometimes the gaze, the interest in what we want to look at moves our body. So let your body respond, like if you're like a kitty cat chilling in your living room, moving around a little to find comfort or change. Your breath. You'll slow down the rhythm of your gaze, and whatever you're looking at next, stay there for a moment. Rest your gaze at whatever you're looking at. Most of the time, the words, the naming, the judgment of what you see comes up. You can let that happen and get into the quality, the sensation of what you're seeing, the shape of it. Exploring it just for another moment. What it feels like, what you're looking at. To feel it maybe with your own body. So that what you're seeing can look back at you whatever it is that you're seeing with your eyes is also looking back at you. Can you feel it in your body? To be looked at by an object or the window, the tree, the ceiling, whatever it is that you're looking at, let it look back at you, connecting to it. And then we'll close our eyes. Stay connected to what you are just seeing with your closed eyes. Feeling it, the distance of it, the quality of it, maybe the personality of what you are just looking at, feeling it in you. And letting yourself be seen by it. Allow your body to change as it wants to. On the ground, maybe you're lying down, changing your limbs, changing your form. And you're keeping very gentle this connection of what you were just looking at. But with your closed eyes, you can sense to be seen in your form. How does that feel like? To be seen in the shape of you, the form of you. Maybe you want to show another part of your body to your object connection. The part of your body that you might usually not want to be seen. Let your object look at it. Just with a benevolent gaze, feeling what that feels like. As you being seen, you're internally seeing right back. You're seeing the pressure of the floor with your closed eyes. You're seeing any noise that you hear gives you an image in your mind. Letting your body move or shift in any way that you're showing something that you really enjoy about your body's shape, letting it be seen by your object friend. What does it feel like to be seen in this way? As you're being seen, you're still seeing the whole time. You're seeing the sensations in your body. Change your body, feel the ground, let yourself slide a little bit on the floor, maybe with a leg or an arm. And what you're sensing, you're seeing, your attention goes there. Noticing how you're seeing sensation, be of pressure or of sliding, being touched by the ground when you slide any part of your body. Touched by the air when you move or when you're still. Be you. Let the air caress your face by moving your head slowly in another direction, and on your way, the air is caressing your face or your neck or your hair. The floor you're connected to might have its own desire, how it wants to be touched by you. Just by moving your attention to the ground and to the parts of you that touch the floor, there is a relationship between the ground and you. That relationship has its own desire, the third realm, the desire of the relationship. Just being there, just allow yourself to listen, to not do anything, to be in that connection, in that relationship with the floor. And just listen with your body, with your breath. Maybe a movement wants to come from there, a change. Be pressing the floor gently with any part of your body, or melting into it, or sliding, or just still and resting with the floor. You'll notice, you'll know. Just being with it, hovering your attention and listening. Together, bring our attention and our bodies towards a moment of rest. So wherever you are, however your body is, just resting the gaze, resting the movements, and just being here for a moment, breathing. With our closed eyes, we can see everything there is, and everything there is can see us. It's infinite. We can just rest where we are. We'll take together a deep breath in and stretch yourself a little up and out with your limbs, however your body is right now. And when you exhale, you move in the other direction, coming back to this room and this connection that we're having together. And you're ready to open the eyes and see what you see. I'll go back to turning on my video. Are a little journey.
A little bit. This relational rest felt like arriving to a benevolent oasis after a long way on a desert of judgment. So I have many insights to share. Where I'm gonna share only three. And the first is that I was laying here in my Pilates Cadillac, and I had this blue foam roller straight over my eyes, and that's the object I picked to look. And first, it was like Yeah, it's a foam roller. It has a name and it has this shape and this size, and it has, fortunately, the perfect size, so I can shove it over here, and it found its perfect space and everything. And then, wow, something unexpected happened, that suddenly I saw this object in the same way that I saw it the first time, that it was like, what the fuck is that? A,
Ah,
a blue thing, a blue log. Is it? It looks like plastic, and it has like a texture that is like a dragon skin or whatever. And I remember like the first time I saw a foam roller, like, what is that? Is it packing material? What is it for? And then when I realized like you could roll on the foam roller and do things, it was like, wow, like a toy. And I felt like a little kid on the sandbox. And actually I am in that mode, like a little kid with her toy.
you together.
Yeah, and wow, it was so refreshing to see it beyond my preconceptions, to be able to see the object as it is. And then the whole space became like alive and vibrant, like, oh, the ceiling and the apparatus and the books, but it's as if they lost their name. Like the first time you saw a book, you were kind of little, and it was like, what is that? And it was like everything became so alive with detail. And then when the object started seeing me, I micro freaked out because because my own judgments flared up, and
Mm.
I projected my self judgments
Mhm.
to my assumed objects, my assumed judgments of the object towards me, which was ridiculous. You can do that very comfortable with a person, but with an object, like an object, I am imagining that the object is seeing me, but it's an object and it doesn't have eyes and it doesn't have elements to judge me. So it's my own judgment. And it was
The
like,
most important realization, because then we see it's our judgment we project onto the other person who sees us. So if it's ours, then what to do with it? If it's not the person judging, it's us, when the object can do it. Mhm.
yeah. And then it was like, okay, I soften, I can acknowledge what we said on the first part of this this exploration of being sensually seen, where you talk about the tentacles and that we tend to default to focus on areas and aspects that we don't like about ourselves, and that's okay. The thing is not to get hooked on that, and to go back to the big picture. And then I noticed that I've been struggling with uh, a weight gain on the last half a year. Like I am like 5 kilos, like 10 pounds heavier than I used to, because I have been self-medicating myself with cake to soothe my anxiety, and I blame it to overworking and whatever. But the thing is that I don't fit it as, for example, this this piece of clothing should be very loose, and I am like feeling like a packed sausage. And all of that started to come up to surface, and I allow it. Like, I am happy to have these tools to open space for whatever judgment to emerge, to be there, to not start fighting, and especially not getting distracted with it. And then you said something very important, that was, let yourself be seen by the object with a benevolent gaze. And I was like, ah, the object is looking at me in a benevolent way. And then I was able to look at myself even with curiosity. And then, like, okay, this is how I look. And then all the objects started seeing me in this exploration. And I felt that I was being touched by the gaze. Like I I take a place in the space, in the universe, and the air is in contact with me. And if I move the air, like if I push my hands this way, the space moves and the air that I am touching pushes and touches the wall, even at a very thin molecular level. But if we were in water, that would be more obvious. But if I push an object against the wall or against the computer, it's gonna move. So we are touched and we are touching the space. And like I made this connection of how our awareness touches and we are being touched. And when I reframe it with a benevolent gaze, I started to like my current chubby state of, and got curious, like, oh, being 10 pounds heavier, it's kind of voluptuous and
Mhm.
interesting. And oh, so I began to experience myself without judgment. And to my surprise, pleasurable sensations and even like a certain pride of enjoying myself emerged. And then you mentioned like the floor wants to touch you, the floor desires to touch you. And then I was like, ah, I am feeling so very welcome. And the last thing, the bonus thing that I'm gonna share is that you say like change your position and let other areas of your body be seen, areas that you wouldn't be so comfortable. And I was like, okay, the armpits, because I haven't shaved in like a week. So I'm like a little cactus over there in those corners. And I was like, get like, oh no, the objects are, are gonna see my hairy armpits. And then I was like, but there's enough space for judgment to exist, but the space is so wide that it allows for the totality and the complexity and the mysteriousness of the experience to be. And I felt it liberating and reassuring, and I feel very comfortable. Like I could go on dancing to the disco and enjoy being like the center of the dance floor.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And um, for everyone listening, if you want to turn up the volume of sensation, you can replace being seen with a benevolent gaze with is being seen with a desirous gaze, and to allow it to go into a more sexual place. So maybe this for the next practice, we can practice this.
You can turn up the volume of the experience by not only being seen with a benevolent gaze, but with a desirous gaze. It's something that you authorize yourself to be
Mhm.
seen in such a way. Ah, this is a gift, Melanie, truly. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure.
And thank you, Sensualist, for being here. I hope you enjoyed this delightful episode and you are ready to keep on learning from Melanie Maar on her website, www.melaniemar.com. Also, go follow her on Instagram, the same, her name, melaniemar.com. And if you haven't already, please go and grab the free guide to awaken sensuality at my website, candiaraquel.com, which is www.candiaraquel.com. Until next time, remember to sense your fire so you can share the flame.